Hello, I'm Arun Wakhlu, one of the senior coaches at CoachMantra. Today, we'd like to show you a demonstration of what a coaching session looks like. And for that, we are very happy to have with us Mr. Sadanand Patwardhan. Thank you, Sadanand, for being here.
Thank you.
We will actually record a coaching session after which Sadanand will share his experience of how he found it and how he felt. And you will actually see how a coaching session progresses in real life. So I'm going to begin the coaching session now and start by welcoming you once again. So hearty good morning, Sadanand.
Good morning. Good
And
morning, Arun.
what would you like to discuss today?
I want to do something different.
Okay.
Now I've been raising this family, having this career. But this is not the personality that I feel is me. I focused for some time on losing weight.
Uh-huh.
And I now want to focus on something else.
Okay. Tell me more.
I want to do and find a different role for myself. As far as normal requirements in life are concerned, creature comforts, family, that I have. I also have a career.
Uh-huh.
But I do need to do something which will bring me out of this shell.
Right. So it seems like your life has been on something like an autopilot and going on in a rut.
You're right. You're right. It's the routine, the same thing over and over again. As if in those old times when you used to play on gramophone records,
Yeah.
life is moving only in one groove,
Right.
and it has become impossible to bear it anymore.
Must be boring. It must be
It's boring, something which I'm uncomfortable with,
right.
and I want to get out of it because that's not me.
I understand. So, Sadanand, what specifically do you want to get out of this session today?
I want to find a focus, something I can look forward to doing, and that is what I'm looking for.
And what about your career?
So that my career, my family, my hobbies and interests, all of this I would like to focus upon.
Okay. May I invite you to share a little more about your current career situation?
Arun, I feel stagnated.
Okay.
That's it. Last month, promotions were announced. I was looking forward to them greatly. But I didn't find my name on the list. It was a huge disappointment. 21 years of my best life and work I had given to the organization. And I felt that this is how I'm being treated now. When it was something for me to move ahead, up.
Yeah. So it must have been very disappointing. This feeling of
I can't tell you how. I mean, it almost felt like I would collapse.
I understand. So tell me, Sadanand, what might be some of the reasons why you were not promoted to your next role?
I guess, though I think that what I did for the organization should have been rewarded with promotion. But maybe my boss, my organization, I did not meet their expectations. Or maybe because of my age, they thought maybe a younger person will able to serve the organization better. But here I am, left high and dry.
No, it can be very upsetting, when you have a clear expectation, you feel you deserved it and it doesn't come. It can be very upsetting.
I'm glad you see it my way.
Yeah. No, I understand. On a scale of 0 to 10, if we said, how keen are you to reinvent your life? So 0 is no, there's no point, I don't want to do anything. And 10 is I'm ready to go and start right away. Where would you rate your keenness to reinvent your life?
Arun, this sort of a question is like, how big a lottery ticket would you like to have?
Yeah.
I would like to say 10. Everybody wants the whole world. But I would at least say that I should be where 8, 9, 10, for sure.
Very good.
Nothing
very
less.
Good, very good. No, I really appreciate your keenness to reinvent yourself, and I compliment you for that intense desire to do that. So really nice. So, Sadanand, if we had to draw a picture of how would your reinvented life look like, if you reinvented yourself and changed everything in your life and career, how would your reinvented life look like? Could you specifically describe that vision for me?
That brings to my mind the first time ever I walked into the corporate office.
Okay.
I was brimming with optimism, wanting to try out different ideas, was bursting with energy. And that is what I want again in my life. And I'm sure it's possible. But I'll have to make it happen.
Sure.
And I don't know how.
Yeah.
And that is where I need your
Yeah.
help.
Right. No, we'll come to that in a minute. In fact, you yourself will know what to do once the conversation goes on. But on the family front, how would things look if you reinvented yourself?
Yes. You know what's happening? I've been caught up in a loop till now. With all the frustrations, anger at workplace, I bring it home to my family. Incidentally, I got a lovely spouse and very good children. I'm very happy,
Very good.
very lucky.
Excellent.
But if my interactions with them are not good, and they are not to be blamed, they are supportive and accommodative. But they also can't take it.
Yeah.
And I can see that, but I can't help myself. On the other hand, if the thing change, and then I'll be carrying the positive feedback from my family after giving them quality time, enjoying their company,
Sure.
I'll bring it to my workplace. And in the workplace, I'm sure they will find me a different person. And then I'll be able to take the good vibes from workplace
And
back
bring
into
them to
my
the family. Very nice. And you said something about learning. Tell me more about that aspect. In the reinvented you, how would your learning be?
See, for the learning, I personally right now, while talking to you, it has occurred to me, the biggest obstacle is trying to see the world in my way, through only my eyes, me at the center. If it can be changed, where I can also get into the position of my family or my boss.
Beautiful. Very good.
See, how are they probably looking at me?
Excellent.
So I think what I need to develop is empathy.
Excellent. And you mentioned obstacles. Sadanand, is there any other obstacle that comes in the way of your current reality and your beautiful vision, very clear vision? Any other obstacles that you feel are blocking your journey towards this reinvented you?
Oh, sure, Arun. Right now, I feel
It's
like
okay.
a
It's okay.
sloth,
It's okay.
watching the TV like a couch potato.
You mean a sloth bear?
Sloth bear, that's right. I mean, it's not discourtesy to the sloth bear
No, I
because
understand.
nature has made him, but basically lazy, lacking initiative, and that is precisely what I want to change. This is one of the biggest obstacles, and of course, it is reflecting on my health. Look,
Yeah, well,
then on my mind, and then of course on my actions.
and how much do you know what your boss expects from you in your new role?
That is what I have to ask him, and of late I have not done that.
I
In fact, after talking to you, I think that is how I must start. Not only ask my boss, also ask my family. Ki where would they like me to change? Like the boss also, I'm sure he would like me to change in many ways.
Excellent. So you kind of shared about your current reality, your frustrations, your sense of boredom, and you painted a very clear picture of what you would like, and we've identified a few obstacles. May I invite you now to look at what are the few things you can do to start overcoming these obstacles and moving towards the real reinvented you, which you have just beautifully articulated, Sadanand.
Arun, your questioning helps me to clarify my ideas.
Okay.
See, having a grand vision
Now,
is not sufficient.
sure.
One has to break it down into achievable targets
Right.
and measure how one is progressing. So that is another positive feedback loop I would like to
Very nice.
create. And in that, first thing I would like to start doing is focus on my boss and my organization,
Excellent.
number one, and ask them, what is their true expectation of me?
Excellent. Very good. Very good, Sadanand.
The second thing I want to do is focus on my health. Because I think Shariram Adhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam, as said in our Gita.
What does that mean?
It means that after all, healthy body is the only instrument
Okay.
of your realization. Swadharma. See, dharma normally we understand today as religion.
Right, right.
But in those times, dharma means your inner quality, what you are. So for that, I need to focus on my slothiness and start working upon it. And that means exercise. For the mind, I need to meditate.
Okay.
So these are the breakable and achievable things. And do it repeatedly. Not one day, 2 days, every day. So
Excellent.
that is what I propose to do.
So in our work, we call this hour that you give to yourself for exercise, for meditation, or reading inspiring books. We call it the hour of power.
Okay.
And what we believe
What
is
a
that
beautiful name.
Thank you. What we believe is that if you give yourself this hour of power, you constantly keep yourself charged up, learning, growing, enthused, and energized for whatever has to happen. So, the three things you mentioned is get your expectations clear from your boss and maybe HR. Number two, you're going to start exercising to a specific disciplined routine. And third, you're going to start meditating. Anything that would help your learning.
Can you elaborate on that?
So what I meant is, see, remember you're preparing yourself for the next role. And your boss and HR may have some expectations from you. What might you do to enhance your learning, to go along with your exercise and meditation so that you're ready for the next role?
Yes. See, I am fond of reading. So books, of course, will be my first priority related to the goals that we have just now discussed. And another was, one of my friend is into empathy training.
Okay.
So how do you understand and read another person's emotions, his feelings?
Okay.
So that is one person I'm definitely going to go contact and learn from him. And I would like to ask you, do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, sure. So, Sadanand, one of the most valuable areas where one can learn these days is the internet. So, if you listen to some TED Talks or you go to Coursera or the many free learning resources on the internet, you can get a huge amount of material which is very valuable, very powerful for learning.
True.
So, you could explore that also.
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful.
And any thoughts on anything to do with your family?
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Most important thing I'm going to do now is spend quality time with my family.
Okay.
It's not just going to be that we are clustered together between the walls. I will be looking forward to go with them, play with the children, and with my spouse, with whom I haven't had a decent conversation for a long time.
Very nice.
So that is the only way one can create a healthy atmosphere at home and draw from it and build up your today and tomorrow.
Excellent. I'm very happy to hear that. So all these ideas would need some concretization into a clear plan. So by when would you be making a schedule to convert these beautiful ideas for action into concrete, actionable steps?
Now, Arun, now, because you mentioned your hour of power,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I already outlined to you my 3 priorities.
Right. And,
I would like to add one more in that.
uh-huh.
See, I like to review
Okay.
my progress with boss every day.
Okay.
Also, with my family, I would like to take their inputs periodically.
Right.
And then, as I said about exercise, meditation, and now reading, because you mentioned the point of learning.
Yes.
So I'm adding it now with my repertoire, what I decided to do. And it has to start now. So as soon as I'm out of this, today is my free day, I'm off from my
Excellent.
office.
Excellent.
So I'll go first take a nice jog in the park, and that's after that meditation, and then start reading.
Wow, I'm very happy. I'm enthused just listening to you about how you're going to start.
That's how I'm feeling.
That's wonderful, Sadanand. And you also mentioned that you would seek your feedback from your boss at HR about expectations. So how soon will you be able to do that?
As I mentioned, I'll try to do it. First, I'll go and talk to them,
Right.
which we discussed earlier. Okay, what are their expectations of mine? And once I get that, I'll start working upon it. And in fact, I'll ask them, okay, what is the frequency at which they and I, both of us, are comfortable?
Excellent.
Because I must take their point of view also
Sure.
into consideration.
Sure. So by when would you have completed this conversation?
Definitely within next 7 days or
Okay.
10 days. Yeah.
Very excellent. Good. So
As soon as I join back.
excellent. So you have a plan, you have a clear, actionable plan, and you're quite enthused about it. And how has the session been for you?
Don't you see it for yourself?
I do.
You know how I was sitting with you when I came back like that, slouched in my,
Yes.
And right now I'm brimming with optimism. And I think that is the most important key in life.
Excellent.
If you're not optimistic, you will not be able to do anything.
Excellent.
And that is where I am. I'm now feeling full of energy already, as if pumped up.
Excellent.
And go and start working.
Very good.
Let me tell you, I'm just waiting that this wonderful session, as soon as it ends,
Wow,
But
I can feel the energy. I can feel the energy.
Thank
so,
you.
Sadanand, thank you so much for
Thank you
this
so much.
beautiful session, and all the best with your action plans. Look forward to seeing a renewed you very, very soon.
Arun,
Yeah.
you will definitely get the pleasure.
Excellent.
And thank you for giving me all the interesting inputs today.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thanks a
Take
lot.
care.
So, friends, you just saw a live coaching session being demonstrated for you, where Sadanand, who came in with a certain sense of boredom and ennui and despondency, goes out charged and brimming, rearing to go with a clear action plan. What we saw in the whole sequence was a person who says what he wants to achieve. He said very clearly that he wants to reinvent himself in his personal life and his career. We then explored the situation and went into what is happening. We then made a vision where he himself drew a vision of what he wanted to achieve. He identified some of the obstacles, and together through the conversation, we then identified what are the kind of actionable points that he can really work on, by when he would do them, and how he would review the progress. So this is how a coaching session really works. This is how it really happens. And it is a process of conversation and co-creation between a coachee and the coach, in which most of the thinking about what they want to discuss, what is the situation, what are the options and possibilities for action are all done by the coachee. And then you might ask, then what does the coach do? The coach simply facilitates the conversation in which the coachee himself or herself actually creates the options and outcomes and plans that they really want. So friends, hope you enjoyed watching this coaching session on CoachMantra. I would like to thank Mr. Sadanand Patwardhan once again for being with us and giving you a feel of what coaching is all about. See you soon.